Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another video for ARMAJET. Today we're going to be looking at what's coming in update 1.14 and going over the patch notes. Now this is going to be a thoughts and analysis video, so if you don't want to listen to me ramble on about what this all means, and if you just want the patch notes, there is a link in the description down below that will take you straight to the subreddit, so you can get all of that without my thoughts and opinions wrapped around it. Now, of course, if you do enjoy this video, let me know by hitting like on it, consider subscribing to the channel for all things mobile gaming and more ARMAJET content to come, and let me know what topics you'd like to see me cover in future videos, either by commenting down below, or by finding me on social media, including the Catskill Cartel Gaming Galleon Discord, which is all linked on screen now, or of course in the description below. Right, that said and done, let's have a look at the patch notes, because this is a big one with lots of very exciting new changes. Now, update 1.14, new survival play mode and return of 1337. Lots to cover. So, how far can you get without any upgrades? Get ready for a completely new ARMAJET, introducing our newest game mode, Survival. Battle it out alone or with your squad against endless enemies in multi-stage jetpack combat. Make sure to upgrade your weapons along the way to claim the ultimate prize, 1337. Learn about your favourite pilots now with more ARMAJET lore, and unique pilot stats. Explore different roles and team compositions as pilots now include unique stats which will definitely shake up ARMAJET gameplay in all game modes. If you're enjoying ARMAJET, please remember to leave us a review. Now, we are going to come back through all of this in a moment, so we're going to go through this step by step, and then we'll talk about each of these as we come across it. So first of all, the UI update, including play mode picker. I've put this on the screen now. Now, we've added a play mode picker prior to pressing play, so pilots and squads can easier access and make clear choices to how they want to play ARMAJET. We'd love to expand on more game modes for this UI in future too. Choose between modes versus PvP, survival PvE, and custom games. You'll still have the whole thing where you queue in and get Battle Ball or Fuel Frenzy, etc., but you can choose whether or not you're going into PvP or PvE, or whether you go straight into a custom game mode. So the custom game modes are slightly less hidden than they were before. Now, in squads, only the party leader, who will have a crown next to their name, will be able to choose the game mode for the rest of the squad. Party leader is now able to enter custom game lobby codes for the entire squad, which is great for tournament teams and scrimmages. Basically, it means you can form up a team around your captain, and your captain just enters the custom game code in a tournament, and bam, in you go. That's a fantastic little quality of life update. I'm 100% all for that. It means tournaments can run that little bit faster. And if you're fairly new to ARMAJET and watching this video, finding out what's going on, the ARMAJET tournament scene is actually really solid. There's some great teams out there, some fantastic players. You really should get on the official ARMAJET Discord and check all of that out. Now, of course, the big one is playing survival mode. For the ultimate test of your skills and pilot durability, check out our newest game mode, Survival. Make sure you're saving up gold for much needed upgrades in the later stages, especially if you attack this mode with friends, which does increase difficulty. Survive, protect your base, and ultimately unlock Pilot 1337, or LEET, depending on how you want to pronounce that, by battling waves of enemies alone or with a squad for even more of a challenge. Begin with Magma, the easiest difficulty, and battle your way through to District, hardest difficulty, and rescue a rebellious 1337 unit for your own. Yeah! Oh boy. Oh boy. Protect your base at all costs and survive as long as possible for maximum gold, Paragon, and end of round level up rewards. Yes, Paragon is included in survival mode. Survive past wave 25 to unlock the next survival level. So you do Magma, then up to level 25, and then I think it's Temple is after that, and so on. It will go through all of these so you can unlock the increasing difficulty areas. Continue infinitely per stage to set personal bests. Level up rewards continue to count. There are swarms of different enemy classes becoming increasingly harder with modifiers, speedy, stunning, gooey, etc., and boss, ruthless units throughout each stage. Earn and save up gold through daily challenges, Valor Road, and survival rewards to upgrade weapons and pilots. Remember, upgraded stats apply to survival PvE only, which was one of those things that gave me a heart attack the first time I read this. Upgrading weapons, oh boy, no. ARMAJET, please don't do that. Don't go into pay-to-win territory. They haven't. Weapons do not... weapon upgrades do only apply for PvE. They do not apply for the arena, which I'm so happy about. Use your gold wisely on different weapon loadouts and pilots to complement different enemy stages, especially as you work together in squads. Tip, pilot health upgrades are just as useful as weapon damage upgrades. Try to upgrade evenly. Yeah, 100%. When looking at this, and I've been talking to people who have been playing this, 100% those stats do matter in all the different directions, and you can really build your own playstyle in PvE. That is so cool. It's worth noting, as far as I'm aware, obviously you do still need an online connection to play, but you don't. It just means you don't need to be going up against other players. It's PVE, not offline mode, is my point. Prepare to challenge yourself in survival mode while we work on survival-based leaderboards coming soon, which is where that infinite wave after wave thing I think will be going on. You'll have like different scores and stuff like that. I like the fact as well that a team does make it more challenging. It's a great little way just to earn some rewards, doing something a little bit different in ARMAJET, something that's not so sweaty, and it's not about just beating the living daylights out of other players. Having it against the bots and having increasingly difficult waves, then that is really cool, and I can't wait to unlock 1337, which of course is what we're coming to next. Oh yes. The long-awaited return of 1337 is here in Update 1.14 with an all-new exo frame, even more lethal than before. 1337, 1337 or Elite, is programmed to always have an aggressive hunt stance no matter what weapon he's equipping for the arena. As a veteran pilot, you'll have to rescue a 1337 unit of your own exclusively through our new survival play mode. Check out 1337's pilot stats in the pilot gallery thread here, which I will put on screen later as well. Now, 1337, Elite 1337, however the heck you want to pronounce it, was a character back in beta. Ultimately, there were 3 characters originally, 3 OG characters. There was Kruger, Anna, and 1337, and obviously different skins, different colour outfits and all that for those back in the days as well. When ARMAJET updated from a flat 2D game to a 2.5D game, that sort of parallax effect that you now see in the arena, unfortunately we did lose Elite at that point. It was rumoured that his graphical model just didn't upgrade very well, didn't change across into 3D very well. So it's great to see that he is now back. He was an awesome character. He looks amazing, and I can't wait to actually get my grubby little mitts on this guy and start blowing people up in the arena with him. If you like your robots and want a bit more of a sci-fi twinge to your gameplay, 100% Elite is your option to go for. Heck, if you scroll back through some of my older thumbnails, I think my original What is ARMAJET thumbnail has the original Elite skin holding the Velocitus railgun, just as an idea of what he used to look like. I'll see if I can get that on screen now as well. Detailed weapon stats. No more guessing when it comes to weapon stats. Weapons finally include more detail to ease in comparing them against each other. Competitive players and trainees can more effectively state their points when using one weapon over another. All weapons now include descriptive and numerical stats, including damage, fire rate, range, projectile, bullet speed, and weight, lighter to heavier from a value of 1 to 10, 1 being lightest, 10 being heaviest. Now, ultimates now include the recharge experience, duration, and cooldown time, which is fantastic. And higher rarity weapons, common, rare, epic, and legendary, have increased bonuses, which apply to survival PvE only. As a hint, it would be wise to upgrade your highest rarity weapon and see what level and wave you can clear in survival with it. Now, that's an interesting addition. I'm not sure what to make of that last little bit. I like the fact that the stats are there. Some of us who have been playing the game for a long time have sat there and actually calculated weapon rate of fire, range, damage, all that kind of thing as well, just to get a basic understanding of what each weapon does and how you know, talking about balance and things like that. But certainly to actually have that in-game now is huge. To be able to understand how much damage a Black Tusk does, what its rate of fire is, all that kind of thing is brilliant. Then to be able to compare that, say, to the Ironbark or the Typhoon, so you actually get a clear view of what's going on with your weapons. The rarity thing, I'm not overly sold on, but at least it's just in PvE, which gives you a reason to actually play with those weapons in PvE. If you do get a Velocitus, for example, you're lucky enough to unlock, say, the Velocitus, then it gives you a reason to use it if you're not overly confident with it in the arena, which is a great way of training. Training in PvE, obviously then you can go into PvP with it and just do better. New ARMAJET meta, pilot stats. Oh yes. Oh yes, I have been mixed opinions on this, but I've come down on this ultimately in a positive light at the end. Welcome to a huge ARMAJET meta shakeup. Every ARMAJET pilot now has unique and permanent stat attributes with a give-take balance between health, jetpack fuel, and speed. We will be looking closely on your use of each available pilot, their rarities, and overall balance in the arenas, especially with the stacked stats to loadout weight, PvE upgrades, and survival mode gameplay. Remember, only base stats apply in versus modes, and Kruger Anna will always be the best middle ground of pilots. Other pilots will definitely require more advanced risk-reward gameplay from a player. What this means is that ultimately there is now an actual little difference between flying as, say, Kruger, as there will be to flying as Ramirez or Ruthless or Jackal, etc. If you don't have her yet, Anna will now be permanently unlockable at Valor 200 via Valor Road, and definitely within reach for pilots graduating from their first few matches, which just gives you that option straight off the bat of which you go for. Generally, pilots will fall into two classes: Assault or Tank, higher health and shield, more fuel and base speed, which are things I'm imagining like Jackal, and Agility speed, lower health and shield, less fuel, increased speed. I imagine that'll be things like Jackal, Umiko, and Rogue. Remember, shield points are doubled when using Super Shield EXO. Yeah, which of course makes sense, and this actually does give a reason to change up your pilot, as you can go for slightly different builds. If you're going a more aggressive pilot, like you're going a frontliner with Dominion, do you go for someone stockier like Kruger, who can maybe take a couple of extra hits, or do you go for someone like Jackal, who can swoop in and out that little bit faster? It's a different type of gameplay around the same weapon, and I'm kind of all for that. Yes, it does introduce balancing issues, but I don't think that, oh, well, maybe a particular pilot will be OP is a reason not to try it and not to, you know, go there. To me, this is a very exciting new update. It does mean that you can now actually have a different reason for running different pilots. Now, Anna and Kruger should remain as staple pilots in any squads. Veteran pilots looking to min-max their gameplay are free to explore and unlock other pilots with increased risk-reward. Check out all the pilot stats in one place on a 1.4 gallery thread here, which again I'm going to have a look at in a moment, and we're going to go over that. Now finally then, we have general updates. In-game pilots have received an outline contrast boost to help them stand out in the arena even more, which is great. You've got like a little bit of a red glow that you can see in the picture here. Just kind of helps you stand out. I know Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS did this to great effect, just to really make people pop out from the arena themselves, which means it just gives you a bit fairer chance to actually spot someone coming. Red Death Skulls now appear in-game for all confirmed kills, which was a happy mistake, but also made us feel good, so here you go. Micropacks have been removed from being purchased, now owned only through regular gameplay, so you can't buy micropacks with Paragon. Great, you save up for Megatons and Busters. And this amazing change here. Badges are now exclusive to micropacks only, and are thus excluded from Buster and Megaton packs, which means no more buying a Megaton pack only for the Legendary to be a badge. Why? I am super happy with that change. By removing those from the Buster and the Megaton, it means that those Busters and Megatons that you do get through saving up your Paragon or doing your weeklies just mean that little bit more, which is awesome. And increased daily free item rewards, shard doublers, gold, etc. So we get more things out of the store. Alright, so now let's actually have a look at, for example, those pilot stats. And we'll jump back to the pilot stats gallery and have a look at those now. We'll start off with everyone's favourite flyboy, Kruger. Now, it's worth noting that in the top left, we actually get some really exciting lore now for each of the characters, a bit of a background to them, if you will, and that actually also explains and reveals an awful lot about the universe of ARMAJET at large. So with Kruger, he is from the Geneva Corp faction. With freedom comes chaos. Kruger heads the Geneva Peacemakers, military police of Sector 6. His Enforcer-class flight suit features an alloy shell and advanced jetpack armaments. Now, when you look at his stats here, you've got health of 100, shield of 50, jetpack fuel of 120, and speed of 7. Now, as far as I recall, that is basically his exact stats as they stand in the game at the moment. Definitely health and shield are. Jetpack fuel and speed I'm not 100% on, but I'm pretty sure those are very close, if not exactly the same as to currently on live. 100 health and 50 shield. So Kruger is just going to be your baseline dude. Anna, however you pronounce it again, is Geneva Corp, a decorated war hero. Anna embodies the greatest values of law and order. She's revered by the public for bringing peace to the colonies with minimal casualties. Some say by secretly allowing black market Paragon to continue proliferating among the factions. So, interesting point there. Paragon, we can now see, is actually some kind of black market material that is being traded throughout the galaxy. And again, looking at her stats here, comparing those to Kruger, 150, 107.5. That means she's got slightly faster speed than Kruger, but a little bit less jetpack. Really not much between them, but if you want to be a bit more mobile and agile, then Anna is probably going to be the way for you between those two. Moving on then to Rogue. Rogue is part of the Nitrox faction, or Nitro X. Depending again on how you want to pronounce that. The daughter of a prominent Marigold senator, Rogue rejected her upper-class upbringing and chose to find her own mission in the Nitrox colonies. So now we're learning a bit more about the universe. There are colonies. Marigold appears to be sort of a government organisation, as does Geneva Corp, and apparently Marigold is sort of a very wealthy, well-to-do sort of thing. Now looking at her stats, we've got additional shield, goes up to 65, same speed as Anna, but a lot less jetpack fuel, which means she is a little bit tankier with a 65 shield, and still just as fast as Anna, but doesn't get quite as mobile. She's not going to clear the map as quickly, and she's not going to hover as well. That's an interesting little twist there. Umiko from Marigold, suspected leader of the notorious and feared Huntress Division. Little is known about this secretive group of Marigold bounty hunters. So Umiko is a bounty hunter who works for what appears to be the government. Her health is 110 and her shield is 35, jetpack fuel is 100 and speed is 7.5. So again, basically, she is Anna, but with slightly more health and less shield. Now, the idea there is, okay, so what... That doesn't add up. 35 health and 110 shield is 145, whereas Kruger is 150. Yes, but health can ultimately be considered better than shield. That 35 shield can be negated completely by an EMP grenade, as an example. And yeah, you've got stuff like that. It doesn't recharge. Obviously, health, it means even without a shield pickup, you are at better health of 110. Health is ultimately better to have than a larger shield, so Umiko kind of gets away with that there. Ramirez is Geneva Corp again, so he joins Anna and Kruger. Ramirez is the youngest commanding officer of the colonial militia and known by his superiors for its tendency for improvisation. He was recommended for court-martial for extreme unnecessary risks, but with his 100% mission success rate, the charges were never seriously considered by the higher authorities. So it looks like we've got our rogue cop kind of character over here. Health 110, shield 50, definitely tanky, jetpack fuel of 100 and speed of 7. That's, yeah, basically it's Kruger, but with slightly less jetpack fuel and slightly more health. Again, you'll notice the differences here are actually fairly minor, but they can make some big differences. For example, here, health and shield of 160 does mean that if you are capable of double tapping with, say, a Longclaw and a Marauder, that is no longer sufficient for a kill. Jackal, faction Nitrox, so he's there with Rogue, born in the colonies with a genetic mutation. Jackal's agility derives from a special mix of chemicals he's forced to inhale to survive. Yeah, Jackal's just become even cooler for me. Okay, yeah, he's got smaller shields at 35, jetpack fuel of 120 and a speed of 7.5 though. He is nimble. I think so far he is actually the most nimble of all the characters in ARMAJET, so if you're looking for someone who can zip around the battlefield quickly, 100% he's going to be the way, and I think going with light weaponry is the way to go with Jackal. 1337, Leet, 1337, faction is Marigold, so he's up there with Umiko. 1337 units were some of the most advanced military robots developed by Marigold in the Summer War. The Summer War? Fueled by an unknown red fluid that resembles blood, they never require recharging. Jetpack fuel is down and speed is the same as Kruger, health is the same but with 15 extra shield, meaning shield pickups are really, really useful with 1337, and actually the Super Shield Exo is going to be amazing here. He's going to be supremely tanky, possibly the tankiest character with that Super Shield upgrade, and again, just have a look at that Neuro skin, how cool does that look? And finally we come to Ruthless, Nitrox. So he's there with Rogue and Jackal. I'm noticing a theme of my three favourite characters here. Ruthless is one of the few that earned their freedom through gladiatorial combat from the last of the prison colonies. He's now a prominent arms dealer for the Outer Worlds. It doesn't mention that as an arms dealer that's a problem. Like, you know, I suppose he could be a legitimate arms dealer. I kind of get the feeling, looking at him, he's not so legitimate. I'm getting a definite kind of, what's his name, is it Kroll? God, I can't even remember, from Marvel, Black Panther, the South African dude played by Andy Serkis. I'm getting that kind of vibe from him. Health 120, definitely the stockiest of the base health characters, with 50 shield as well. Between him and Leet, that's going to be a really tough matchup on who actually comes out strongest on the health and tankiness. Jetpack fuel, though, is very low. I suppose when you're that buff, it takes a little bit to weigh you up. I mean, come on, this guy goes into the arena where he's up against rocket launchers and laser cannons, and he doesn't even wear armor. Come on, that's badass. But yeah, there we go. So for me, ultimately, you've got Ruthless and 1337 for the big tanky characters. You've got things like Jackal and Umiko and Rogue for sort of the speedy little nippy ones, and then Anna and Kruger as sort of your middle ground. I'm really for this. I wasn't at first, I'll be completely honest. When I first heard that the stats were being added to pilots, I'm like, oh god, no, don't do this. There is just going to be one that is better than all the others, but I actually don't think there is. I think this really means you can mix things up. Yeah, there's probably going to be one particular character who is, for example, better with the Dominion, or one who's better with the Havoc and things like that, but that just means you can adapt your playstyle that little bit more. And quite frankly, it also means that just if you have a full-on Black Tusk war, a Black Tusk war between two different characters can be two different completely playstyles, and I'm kind of all for that. Anyway, these are just my thoughts and opinions. I have rambled on entirely too long on this one. I'm very excited to get my greasy mitts on this update. I can't wait to get 1337 back into my character roster. I can't wait to try out all of the new the stats on the characters here. That, to me, as I said, is super exciting, and I can't wait to get into survival mode and start blowing some stuff up there. Anyway, folks, let me know who your favourite of the new characters is, like stat-wise. Let me know who your favourite character is in general, what you think of the new survival game mode, and all of that jazz. Let me know in the comment section below, or come find me on Discord or social media. Anyway, folks, happy sailing, and see you in the arena!